pay-per-view success and all that stuff? Any numbers you could share?
Well, yeah, that comes from design. I think the best way to describe it is very solid. You know, pleased that it's going to be, I don't know the final numbers from Lomachenko, but pleased that it's going to be in that range for a fight on DAZN, and arguably a smaller fight than the Lomachenko fight. So very pleased with the numbers. That's why, you know, these sort of numbers of 20 million and stuff like that, if that's not going to dangle a carrot, you know, and everyone tries to put Devin Haney down. You get this bullshit stuff from people like Leonard Ellerbe saying the fight did 50,000 buys. It ain't even worth responding to. But they want to set a narrative to try and dress it up that actually Devin hasn't got any value. He doesn't really, you know, he doesn't sell pay-per-views, he doesn't sell tickets. Then all of a sudden he sells out at Chase Centre and they say, yeah, but tickets were only $60 up the top. It gives a but, you know, you should be embracing fights like that, not trying to put people down and talk yourself out of it. So disappointing that Gervonta didn't want to talk about the fight.
We've been seeing on social media so far, you know, Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. First of all, just want to ask you, how much truth was it on the 20 million that Bill Haney offered Gervonta Davis and he declined it?
Yeah, I mean, we want to speak to Gervonta Davis. I reached out to him because we've got some huge offers for him. You know, Bill knows those numbers, and we've got offers from around the world to stage that fight. Unfortunately, Gervonta didn't want to discuss them, but you know, we'll move on and see what's next, and hopefully that fight can get made in the future.
Is there a $20 million guarantee? We saw, you know, kind of quotes going around.
I believe there was a conversation between Bill and a member of the team, yeah, that I want to make an offer of, you know, probably more than that, but unfortunately don't want to have the conversation.
Breaking news, Leonard Ellerbe, Floyd Mayweather CEO, came out defending Gervonta Tank Davis for turning down $20 million guaranteed plus pay-per-view to fight Devin Haney, where he said, quote, "Since you are new to the pay-per-view game, let me educate you on a little something. You or nobody else can make an offer to Tank Davis. Remember, you are the opponent. That's how it works. I'm not going to be going back and forth about this nonsense." End of the quote. Well, first of all, the only reason why Devin Haney sent Gervonta Davis an offer was because Gervonta came out and complained about Al Haymon keeping him out of the loop and that he may fight on another network. Plus, it was Gervonta who told Devin Haney, send the contract if you're serious.
If you want to fight, set it up. You know, you could get him right. You could get in touch with him, right? If you want to fight, just tell him set it up after the Ryan fight. And that's what it is. And that's what tell to Devin and his dad. That's what I said. That's what I said. Let's tell them that be prepared. Make sure they keep running. They're gonna make sure they keep running, because after these first two, oh man, I'm coming straight at. I'm telling you.
Would you be open to fighting Devin Haney in 2023?
Of course he'd be open to fighting Devin Haney. Come on. You know, come on.
He's a WBA regular champion, so, you know, if he wanted that fight.
Bro,
you know how it goes.
You know how people come out and say they want to fight somebody. I mean, they say, all right, I'll fight them. Them guys are sitting there on Twitter and y'all run with it. Y'all, if they mean it, send a contract. Do that. Send a contract.
On multiple occasions, Tank came out and said himself, set it up if you're serious. Devin Haney, send a contract. And the moment Devin Haney sends an offer to Gervonta, now it's a problem. And listen, I agree with Leonard Ellerbe when it comes to Gervonta being the A side. So, what is Gervonta waiting on? Why hasn't he sent Devin Haney an offer, since he's the A side who doesn't accept any offer? If that's the case, Gervonta should have been sent Devin Haney an offer himself. Devin Haney should have an offer on his desk as we speak, not from Eddie Hearn, but more so from PBC to fight on Amazon Prime pay-per-view. Just like Gervonta said on Twitter. Remember, when Devin Haney told Gervonta, you say everything but let's fight, Gervonta said, say nothing. That means absolutely nothing if Tank doesn't send an offer. This is the reason why Tank shouldn't be saying anything, but actually doing something, which is sending Devin Haney an offer at the moment in time. Leonard Ellerbe coming out in order to do damage control is not going to work. Leonard Ellerbe did an amazing job promoting Tank. However, we all know Tank revealed he's a free agent. He left Floyd Mayweather Promotions. Leonard Ellerbe doesn't have a say-so anymore, according to Tank, and according to Leonard Ellerbe himself. Floyd's CEO, Leonard, already said he only does what Gervonta wants him to do. To make matters worse, there's nothing Leonard Ellerbe could say to justify why Tank is not fighting Devin Haney next. All of Leonard's talking points in the past has already got debunked by Devin Haney, since Devin Haney brings more value than anybody Gervonta fought in the past or anybody else Gervonta can fight today. Do you guys know Gervonta really took a pay cut when he fought Ryan, since Tank was willing to accept $5 million guaranteed to fight Ryan, while Ryan accepted $2.5 million guaranteed in order to make the fight happen? Well, guess what? That number is already at $20 million guaranteed plus pay-per-view for Tank to fight Devin. And that's only the initial offer, according to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said he's willing to offer Gervonta even more money than that. Therefore, the only time Gervonta doesn't have to take a pay cut is when he fights Devin. He's getting an overcut. However, Gervonta does have to take a pay cut if he ends up fighting a Pitbull Cruz in a rematch. Oh, for sure, he has to take a pay cut then. What makes this interesting is that Gervonta went out of his way to make the Ryan fight, where he was willing to take less guarantee money and bet on himself in order to make the Ryan Garcia fight come to fruition. So why is Gervonta not keeping the same energy with Devin Haney? Especially when you factor in the Ryan fight had real obstacles, such as Ryan being signed to DAZN exclusively. They had to overcome that obstacle, and they did, because Tank was determined to make the fight happen no matter what. However, when it comes to Devin Haney, who's a free agent unlike Ryan, Devin Haney can fight Gervonta in his own backyard on PBC Amazon Prime pay-per-view. All Tank has to do is send Devin Haney an offer, something he hasn't done yet. The irony of it all is that Floyd Mayweather CEO Leonard Ellerbe is doing to Devin Haney what he claimed the media was doing to Gervonta a year or two back. As you guys can see above, Leonard Ellerbe was complaining how the media was lying, coming out with fake pay-per-view numbers when Gervonta fought Pitbull Cruz. Reports came out Gervonta only sold 50,000 tickets on pay-per-view. Leonard Ellerbe was pointing out how Gervonta sold out the entire arena, how the media is not talking about the gate, so on and so forth. Well, ironically, this is what Leonard Ellerbe is doing to Devin Haney today. He came out claiming that Devin Haney only sold 50K on pay-per-view, just like Gervonta did against Pitbull Cruz. Especially when Eddie Hearn already came out a day before stating that Devin Haney sold around 150,000, just like the Loma fight against Regis Prograis. Remember, DAZN never releases their pay-per-view numbers to the public. That's why we never see Canelo Alvarez numbers. But we supposed to believe Leonard Ellerbe over Eddie Hearn, who actually works for DAZN. Eddie was the promoter for the fight, so if anybody knows how many pay-per-views the fight did, Eddie Hearn does. Therefore, Leonard Ellerbe is doing to Devin Haney exactly what he claimed the media was doing to Gervonta a year back. He's not talking about the gate, how Devin Haney sold out the entire arena and the hype that came with the fight, how Devin Haney has all of the buzz at the moment in time. Leonard Ellerbe is not talking about none of that, and he's not talking about sending Devin Haney an offer either. The most important part, Gervonta and his team don't want to accept Devin Haney's offer, which is not a problem. However, the bigger problem is that they don't want to send Devin Haney an offer either. Furthermore, Devin Haney came out on Instagram dissing Leonard Ellerbe by claiming that Leonard Ellerbe is protecting Gervonta Tank Davis with this meme that he posted. Devin said, quote, "Don't believe that ballhead F word on my pay-per-view sales, he don't know ish. Additionally, Bill Haney came out responding to Leonard Ellerbe as well. However, before I get to that, let's say Devin Haney only sold 50K on pay-per-view against Regis. Even though that's not true, according to Eddie Hearn, who stated Devin Haney sold 150,000 pay-per-view buys. However, in order to make the point, let's say Leonard Ellerbe is right. Well, guess what? That's still more pay-per-views than anybody else Gervonta fought or could fight. Gervonta is looking to fight Pitbull Cruz. Do you guys know Pitbull Cruz never headlined his own card? He always fought on co-main events on PBC. Never once he fought as the main event or headlined. So what are we talking about? Devin Haney has been a main event fighter for the past 5 years and sold over 100,000 tickets on his last 5 fights alone. Devin Haney is a main attraction. He's selling out arenas. He's fighting on pay-per-view. Nobody else Gervonta fought does that or could do that in the past or future. I could guarantee you this. If Gervonta ends up fighting Pitbull Cruz again in a rematch, this fight is not going to do well on pay-per-view. It's going to do some really poor numbers. I don't see it selling over 300K. In that case, Devin Haney is already doing half of the numbers Gervonta is going to do in his next pay-per-view fight. At the moment in time, the fans only want to see one fight, and that's Devin Haney versus Gervonta. This is the biggest fight in boxing, which means Gervonta needs Devin Haney just as much as Devin Haney needs Gervonta. Because if Gervonta fights another opponent like a Pitbull Cruz, the pay-per-view is going to flop. At least when it comes to the standard of being the face of boxing. However, if Gervonta ends up fighting Devin Haney, the pay-per-view is going to do over 1 million pay-per-view buys. That's why it makes 0 sense for Tank Team, the trainers, and Leonard Ellerbe to say everything but let's make the fight happen. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, I'll be damned if the spook by the door, Leonard Ellerbe himself, wants to present some fake numbers to the people. Good brother, the fight and the engagement far exceeded 50,000. 10,000, anything that you can muster up in your fat head to come up with any lie about. Let me explain to you why. Take a look at the analytics, behind the scene, the engagement with the fight. Take a look at the stadium. Take a look at every aspect of the fight, and you'll see that it was a sellout. And only thing that I can see now is another sellout opportunity by the spook by the door to introduce some bogus numbers that cannot be found anywhere. So, Mr. Spook, while you found the numbers, let's not keep them a secret. Tell the people where you found them at. Because other than that, everybody had a wonderful time in the Bay Area. And guess what? The buildup was incredible. The numbers were reflected. But don't let the naysayers, the guys that are too scared to take the challenge for the crown, don't let them put you down. We had a great time. No longer will you down him, you must crown Devin. If only the guy that got them off their bunk-ass game. If that ain't the funniest Bama alive, did this guy just go in here and say, you don't know who to talk to, and then say, you know who to talk to? If he ain't, so you the boss, but you not the boss, but I don't know who to talk to, but I know who to talk to. Man, if you don't knock it off, you know what happened. You know you got the call. And you know you turned it down. You dig? Now you saying call somebody But we don't know who the person to call, but you the boss. If you don't knock it off. And you know who I'm talking to. You. The ex-face of boxing. Don't listen to none of that propaganda that they're talking about, though. We're talking about numbers. And we had an excellent event, great turnout. It always takes two to tango. Shout out to the Progress team. They put on a hell of a performance as well in the build-up. Unfortunately, they came up short, but came up short. But, man, little dude ain't coming over here. Little dude ain't coming over here. You got the call. You've been served. You've been put on notice. This is the Devin Haney era, and we're no longer being ambiguous. We're not talking in third person. Devin is the youngest boss in the game. And that's how this thing is going. And just hope that, you know what I mean, old boy comes to his senses. Offer still stands. 20 tickets.